Hello everybody, it's Joseph Greenspan and I am the President of First Fidelity Home Mortgage of Wisconsin. Listen, what I wanted to do today, first of all, was give everybody a little housing tip, okay? If you're going out and you're shopping for a house, or if you already own a house, sometimes you end up having, leaky gutters, where it's rotted through or there's something with the seam. And, a lot of people get overly stressed, thinking that that's going to be a lot of money they're going to have to pay for replacing the gutters. But listen, this is something that I have known when I was a little kid. There was a gentleman by the name of Mr. White that used to come by the house, and he was an old painter. I mean, he had to be 90 when I was, 5, and I got to tell you, I'm a lot older now. But what he did was he said, listen, and this was obviously the day with the older type of gutters, but still works today. If you have a leaky seam or leaky gutter, all you do is you go to the hardware store and you buy some of that tar stuff. There's like a liquid kind of tar that comes in a can. Okay, now this it comes and you'll see you could use it as like a paint, so you can paint the tar on. But what you're going to do, the trick to the thing of making it work instead of just putting tar on, is you take tin foil, and what you do is you line. First what you do is you paint on the inside of the gutter, and you paint with the tar, and then what you do is you then put a layer of tin foil on that, over that, and then what you do is then you paint on some more of the tar. By having that tin foil in between, it basically gives it makes your gutters brand new. Okay, if you just put the tar in, eventually the tar can get little holes in it, or stretching or whatever, where eventually it can go through the seam again. But listen, this is a way to make a problem that you might think to be a big deal, and it might only cost you $5 or $10 to fix. Now, if you're looking to buy a new home and it's got leaky gutters or whatever, you might use that to negotiate that you want a lower price because it's got leaky gutters. So, a lot of people aren't aware of how easy of a fix that is. You could take that one to the bank. Now, the other thing I wanted to go over was, just got in the news, I get the national mortgage news to know what's happening, and it's an interesting story here because we've noticed that 30% of the deals that we're closing have been declined at other lenders, okay? And I just wanted to read this to you. It says, FHA tougher on buybacks and banks get nervous. It says, loan repurchase requests from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are finally tapering off. Unfortunately for lenders, a crackdown by the Federal Housing Administration, FHA, is filling the void. In recent months, the government agency has been denying claims and threatening lawsuits in unprecedented volume. Lenders and their lawyers said, though the underwriting failures and flaws it has flagged stem mostly from bubble years, mortgage lenders are becoming skittish about making new FHA-backed loans. The agency increasingly is forcing lenders to bear the risk on new loans with technical defects, such as having a borrower's previous address listed incorrectly in a loan file. Okay, listen, I got to tell you, that is not going to change the credit decision of a loan file, okay? But what happens is there's these overly aggressive, stringent underwriting criteria. And something a lot of people don't know, even in the lending industry, is that all FHA lending, it is not the same. Actually, it is far from the same. What happens, they call them overlays. And basically, FHA says it needs to meet this certain criteria for us to underwrite and insure the loan. But then on top of that, debt-to-income ratio, credit scores, how they interpret time on the job, there's a lot of these other things that actually have, change how they underwrite the file. And we have seen just an enormous amount of just, poor underwriting, and people that should qualify for a home get declined. So listen, we have a whole array of underwriting guidelines for FHA and conventional. And, our phone number is 1-800-WE-SAY-OK, and you can find us at WeSayOK.com. And that's because we say okay more. So listen, don't be scared about all these ridiculous underwriting, overlays and criteria. You're still in the game. Now is a great time. The Home Affordability Index, meaning if you take into account people's incomes compared to interest rates and what houses are selling for, this is one of the best times in history to buy a house. I mean, think of it. If you're going to you want to go buy a BMW, and all of a sudden they call you and say, hey, the prices went down again. Unbelievable. Eventually you're going to go out and buy. Is the car worth any less? No, but the prices are going down. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying the prices are going to go back up next year or next month, but I'm going to tell you, if you look out over time, people that buy homes now are going to be laughing all the way to the bank. Okay? So, hey, appreciate you guys coming to the blog, and you can register above for my new blogs. Make sure you register, get your email address in there, and if you got any questions or comments, you can give us a call, 1-800-WE-SAY-OK, or you could email me at jgreenspan@wesayok.com. Thank you very much, and have a wonderful day.